Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Your video is about to start on all things Social Security. Just a quick reminder, we are here every day, 9 a.m. with some sort of tip or tidbit for you. And we are here generally on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live stream, live Q&As on everything Social Security. So feel free to pop in a timely fashion, and I will answer your questions there too. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday Social Security Roundup. Real fast here. This is for the week of March 31st. That was last Monday to Saturday, which I believe was the 5th. Okay. So what did we go over? On Monday, we talked a little bit about some newer SSA news right from the horse's mouth. And this was they're kind of clearing up some nasty rumors that field offices were closing when in fact not a single one has been slated for closing. So we go into that a little bit along with the link because I like to link whatever I am taking my information from when I can, so you can vet the source yourself. April 1st, da-da-da-da, this was a question from someone on our live Q&A, which is on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you care to join. And this particular one was about a 61-year-old. And what happens when you have tons of physical impairments, but you're still denied? Why might that be? And there is stuff you can do about it. So don't always think that because you got a denial, particularly if you didn't have maybe representation kind of helping to strategize the evidence, why that might happen and how that can be fixed. April 2nd, that must be Wednesday. It was additional news from the Social Security Administration where they were discussing as they pivot in all of this upheaval, if you will, how in-person identification is not needed for certain cases. So, for instance, disability cases like SSD and SSI and Medicare applicants do not have to worry about in-person identification if they are unable to, access their online account. April 3rd. Responding to the question about should you spend down your resources for SSI when you have SSD going on, or maybe a concurrent claim. Go over that a little bit when you won't want to be spending down your SSI, your resources to try to catch some SSI, because you might not be catching any SSI anyway, and you just blew whatever savings you had. Okay, April 4th, of course, it was Friday, the fraud law review. And this was about a Massachusetts SSA worker who used his position to become basically, as I said, a pimp. And he was luring beneficiary into prostitution. Incredible. Can't make this stuff up. They may as well just make a movie out of it. All right. And then Saturday, April 5th, the Office of Inspector General of the SSA put out a report covering a 2-year span from 21 to 23, in which case 50% of all manager-to-manager requests for assistance failed, 57%. And those manager-to-manager requests tend to be when one office needs a little more clarity on an issue that they might not be very well vetted on. And so they seek it from another, I guess, manager who they're hoping has more knowledge in the area for a claimant or a beneficiary. And turns out 50% of the time they weren't getting what they were supposed to get. So I hope that's something that gets fixed. All right, so that's it, guys. The 31st of March to the 5th of April. That's what we went over last week. I hope you had a great week. I hope you're having a great weekend. And I hope you enjoy the rest of it. And I hope you have a great week coming up. I will be here Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live for the live stream Q&A. And as always, we tend to have a video share at 9 o'clock in the morning on all the other weekdays. And it turns out we are putting it out Wednesdays at 9 a.m. also, the video share. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be kind of skipped that day, but it's not happening. So anyway, I hope to see you guys soon live. If not, see you at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Bye-bye now. is still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope you all had a great week and weekend. Just going to go through the Social Security weekly roundup from this past week and all the little videos that came out. We have, so this would be the week of Monday, the 24th through Saturday, the 29th. So we had on Monday, oh yes, going through a real life example of when your claim is awarded by an ALJ and then it gets yanked by appeals counsel for an audit. That's always fun. Not so much. Tuesday, the 25th, when you are newly awarded benefits, there's you can get direct deposit or you can get a debit card method of being paid. And so we go over the kind of info and getting it to the SSA so you can get your payment started right away. On Wednesday, the 26th, this is function report question number 14. We talk about housework and a particular way that occasionally someone will describe it, which is not helpful to their claim. And it's not fully accurate, although they don't realize it. So we go into that a little bit and how you can avoid doing that if that's something you might have been at risk at. The 27th, which was Thursday, this was, oh yeah, we call it true or false, but the transition that occurred last year with the SSA and people gaining access to their SSA account online and how they transitioned it from ssa.gov/my account to login.gov or id.me. And I guess some people, for whatever reason, think that's just not reality. They don't think it exists. Some people, because they may have called SSA and someone in an SSA field office didn't know that it existed. And so they maybe take that as gospel. But so we try to correct them there so that they can take care of themselves in the future on that. The 28th, Friday, we had Friday Fraud Law Review, of course. And this was about a Texas SSA worker who, and I think it was a field office staffer, who defrauded a deceased man's work record and faked surviving children in order to collect those surviving benefits. That was pretty bad. If I recall, a terminally ill person tried to claim disability benefits, and the SSA staffer held off processing that application, letting the person die first, and then fraudulently filed for those surviving benefits on the made-up children. Horrible. I really shouldn't give details here, but I couldn't help myself. The Saturday, the 29th, this was some SSA news. They described in detail, and they're coming out with a lot of press releases explaining what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. So everyone kind of can be in the know if they care to really learn the facts. And in this case, it was 6 new initiatives that they explained to further the transparency and the accountability in various areas. So take a listen if you want to know what's actually going on with the SSA. And that was it for the week, guys. I hope you had a good one. I hope you have a great weekend. A wonderful rest of your Sunday. I hope it's restful and calming. And I will hopefully see you next week, 9:00 a.m. Our daily shares on things that generally are occurring in the middle of our workday. And then, of course, Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, always Eastern Standard Time, I have my my live Q&A live stream. So you're all welcome to join. First come, first serve on getting your questions in there. So try to get there on time. All right. Thanks, guys. And I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.